Hello guys, I'm a software engineer and in the last 2.5 years I really tried to create something my own. I did about 10 projects and I just wanna give you some kind of results of it, right? Because what have I achieved in those 2.5 years and how it went, why they failed and what happened. I really wanna start with just a simple, I would say, background in sense of why I even started, what was the purpose, and how it all went. So I would say that all started about January or February 2024. I really wanted to create something my own because that was the year when I started working as full-time software engineer. I pretty quickly realized that I don't really want to work as employee, right? Because I just hated all this corporation culture, all these meetings, all these discussions, and I don't know, it's just everything felt so fake that I was like, is it? Is it really how I want to spend the future 40, 50 years of my life? Because I was 23 back then and I'm living, and it's so more than 40 years like this in corporation. I was like, what the fuck? I don't want to do this. And exceptionally because I was always kind of a person who at best works alone, I would say. I was always kind of a solo player. I mean, it was always kind of better and easier for me when I'm doing something on my own because, I don't know, I just feel like I'm more efficient with that. Even when I moved to Germany, when I started going to German courses, I quickly realized that I don't really need these group courses because I'm just able to do it alone better and faster. And that's why I did it way faster when I was doing it alone. So just quick the courses and did it alone and then pass the exam, right? So I was always better at doing stuff alone. I was never a fucking team player. And in corporation, I quickly realized that exceptionally I'm working in a big corporate that you need so many fucking time, approval, discussions with managers, all this stuff, and I was like, no, fuck it, I don't want to do it. It's better to have something my own. And that's when this dream, I would say, started. That I need to have something my own, something that will be mine, that I will work on that. So I was like, what can I do, right? It was 2024, just the beginning of the year, and AI wasn't as popular as it now, but it was already kind of popular, so I was using it. Of course, it wasn't as nearly as good as it now, but still. And then what get my attention was this idea of creating an AI girlfriend. Basically, the whole concept was pretty simple, is to create an AI persona and then to create an Instagram about this girl, and then it will become kind of consistent image, consistent pictures of her, consistent story, and I will be just creating the pictures of her on different, I don't know, locations, different places, and then slowly I will grow an audience, and then I will have some ads, some partners, and then how I will make money. And I never wanted a crazy amount of money, okay? I don't need to have millions of dollars or billions. No, I never wanted that. All I want is to have pretty good amount of money so I can live pretty good life and be independent and travel a lot and try different places. So my goal was to have about from 5 to 10,000 a month, okay? So I could travel the world. I could live in some maybe cheaper places and be independent and don't have to do all this corporation bullshit and don't have to be part of the company and so on, right? I wanted to have my own. And I thought that with Instagram and with this girl, it's something that is indeed achievable. And I've seen a lot of YouTube tutorials about that, how you can do such an Instagram girl. So I thought that sounds pretty good, let's start it. I was doing it about, I would say, 2 months. About 2 months I was doing that, and I grew up my audience to, I think I had 1,000 followers at my Instagram girl. And the crazy things was of course my DMs. So many guys was DMing me, I don't know, wanted me to show them boobs or something. It was so crazy. It was crazy because as a guy, I mean, you never really experience that some girls are writing to you or asking you for dick pic or something. But when I've had this girl account, it's like crazy how many guys was writing me like, yeah, can you show me your boobs? I was like, come on, man. Exceptionally, like I've seen I don't know, like people in their 40s with like families on the fucking Instagram page, they're writing me, hey beauty, can you show me your boobs? I was like, man, really? But yeah, why I was doing it only 2 months? Basically, my progress was very good in a couple of first weeks. My progress was skyrocketed. I get a lot of followers. I mean, there was days when I got like 200 followers in one day. I was like very happy. But then my progress just disappeared. It vanished, okay? Then I had like, I don't know, like 3 last weeks, I was losing followers every day. Although I was consistent with my posts, with my stories, I was posting, I think, 2 to 3 times a week. And I had like every day I had stories, but still I was like losing followers every day, like for the last a couple of weeks, right? And I was like, what the fuck is happening? I'm doing everything that I was doing before, but then I was gaining followers, now I'm losing followers. It was like, what the fuck? Yeah, and basically I realized a couple of important things, that probably this area is very, very fucking crowded, because let's be honest, there was like a YouTube tutorials about this topic, and they had like thousands, hundreds of views, right? It was like 200 or 300,000 people views it. So this topic was exposed to a lot of people, right? So it wasn't something new, it was something unique. A lot of people was aware of it, and I didn't really had any unfair advantage, right? Because basically everybody on internet who has access to AI can do it, right? It's not something that requires you to be expert in anything, right? Everybody can just open their laptop, just open, I don't know, some AI tools and generate a female and create Instagram account, right? So a 10-year-old boy can do it. So I'm competing against like 10-year-old boy, against some teenagers, against some homeless guys, I don't know, who just had an internet. So I'm competing basically against everybody, and I don't have any advantage, although I have some skills, right? So I'm like software engineer, I know how to code, I know how to program, but in this particular area that I'm trying to build something, I have no advantage at all. And then I was like, okay, why am I then trying to win in the field where I'm not even have any advantage, when I'm not good at? And at the time it also was a bit of boring, because I was posting all these pictures, all the stories, and I didn't see any results. And also the lack of result was one of the reasons why my motivation faded away. It seems like I've choose some bullshit path, let's try something different. So that was my first project that I was trying to do, and yeah, it failed after about 2 months, and I've closed it. Okay, let's go to the next project, right? And my next project was not so much better than my first, I would say. But my second project was AI generated short videos, right? I know, some AI slop basically, right? I've created a TikTok account, a brand new YouTube account, and I was creating some TikToks, some short videos generated with AI about, I don't know, I think I had like 2 channels. One of them, it was kind of like motivational videos with some text, music, and some AI generated voice. I mean, you can see it right now, one of the example of my videos.
I have found that if you love life, life will love you back. Spread positivity and it will surely come back to you.
And the second account was a bit more unique. It was like I generated this like persona, like Leonidas from Sparta. I think a lot of people know who is Leonidas, right? It's like, and I generated basically his persona and animated him with AI. So I don't know, the idea was some kind of interesting phrases, right? Some in like ancient way. I don't even fucking know how to describe it. Let me just show you. Like, it was something like this.
A Spartan found a gold coin and offered it to his mentor. "Keep it," the mentor said. He buried it, marking the spot. Years passed. He never dug it up. Why? Asked a youth. To learn, he replied, if it changes me. It didn't. Wealth's true value, he concluded, is in not letting it control your actions or desires. Money is a tool, not a master.
Yeah, so, and I also was doing it about a month or 2 months, and basically I give up on that project because of the same reasons I give up with my first projects, because I had no advantages, because I didn't see any results. I think after a couple of months I had on Instagram, I had about 80 subscribers, followers, and on YouTube I had like, I think 15, and on TikTok I had about 5 or something. I don't know, it's funny because a lot of people always say that, yeah, TikTok is the most viral, most easy to grow platform, but I was trying, I mean, in future, I also will tell you, I will doing out of YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and for some reason, TikTok was always for me the last gaining platform, right? I never had like even fucking 20 subscribers on TikTok. Although on Instagram and on YouTube I was growing way faster. Like I don't know like how the fuck it's possible, but it was. Yeah, so basically back to the topic. Yeah, there was no results whatsoever. I had like no subscribers, no views. Also, it was boring. This initial excitement when you started to doing something new was gone now. So I was like, yeah, I'm doing some annoying AI slop videos and it's not interesting. It's not funny. What the fuck I even doing in this? Fuck it, let's quit it. That's how I quit it. And then I was thinking about, okay, I did 2 AI slop, but I should do something more that I'm good at. And I was good at coding, I was good at programming, at engineering, and AI back then, there wasn't back then a Claude Code that was very good at it as well. So I was like, okay, let me try to use my software skills, my programming skills to build something. And that's how I was introduced basically to all this idea to create a startup, create a software as a service, so SaaS. And that's when I was thinking like, yeah, that sounds pretty good. Also, I've seen videos from Mark Lowe or Lou, I don't really know how to pronounce his last name correctly, where he was talking about his journey as a solopreneur. And I was like, okay, that sounds really nice, let me try it. And I was always kind of like overthinker and over preparing, over analytic, and I was like, okay, and I was thinking in my head like, okay, I understand that my first startup will fail. I understand that probably my first 5 startups will fail, maybe even my first 10 startups will fail, right? And that was something that I was very aware of, and I was considering that. So I was like, okay, so basically I will be creating like probably at least 10 different startups, right? And I was like, okay, if I will create 10 applications from scratch, like 10 startups, then it makes sense to have some kind of template, right? I won't be creating from scratch every my startup, right? So I have some kind of like skeleton with all essentials that any startup needs, like landing page, like authorization, like backend, some database connections, some requests to backend and so on, right? And I was like, okay, that's something that every fucking startup will need. And I will do about 10 more startups, probably, because my all first startup will fail. And I was like, okay, let me start with creating this template. So I've spent the first like 2 months just to create this template, startup template. Basically, I've spent 2 months to create this startup template where was all these features, but the way a bit more adjustable. So if I needed to change something, I could do it very fast and very quickly. And then I was happy, like, yeah, I've created this template, very nice. But then it was, okay, now I have template, now I should really start creating all these startups. But then I was like, what the fuck should I create? So I had no fucking idea what to create. I was thinking about that a couple of weeks, I think, or I don't know. And to be honest, I just fucking gave up again because I was like, yeah, it's too many people creating all this stuff. My excitement was again gone. And I was like, yeah, I have no idea. I don't know what to create. So I just give up and move to the next idea. And you can already kind of starting to see the pattern, right? So the pattern was, I've started doing something, I'm very excited, very motivated, I'm doing it for 2 months, then I see no results, then this initial excitement is gone, and then I go to the next project to hit the circle again and again. Yeah, you can already see this pattern, and a bit spoiler, in future this pattern will occur more and more. But yeah, now let's go to the next project. And my next project was my first YouTube channel. And it was also the longest project, right? Because I was doing YouTube about 10 months, my first YouTube channel. And the idea of my channel was to sharing my opinions, because I don't know, through my whole life, I find it very interesting that I've never met a lot of people who have the similar opinions or stuff that I do, right? On politics or on society, on everything basically, right? I don't know why, but I never really met a lot of people who value stuff similar ways than I do. And that's why I thought that maybe then it will be interesting for me to share my opinions and to then also maybe be able to kind of get the people similar to me, because I don't know, I mean, like, everybody wanna have community with people who share the belief. So I was like, okay, let me try to do it. So I was doing these videos where I was sharing, basically it was social stuff, what's happening in society, or my opinion on popular topics, like, I don't know, like, yeah, when I was talking about, I don't know, like feminism or being vegetarian or some other stuff, right? I was doing it about 10 months, and after 10 months, I had about almost 400 followers. I did about 50 videos, I think, yeah, 50 videos. And my most successful video has like, I think 25,000 views. So it was a good video. I mean, I had some audience, of course it was pretty small, like only 400, but still, but came up pretty quickly with kind of a crisis of ideas what I have to do videos about. And that was the moment where I kind of changed the direction of my channel, and instead of just sharing my opinions, it was more about like self-improvement. I always hated this idea of being like guru and always like try to teach people, because I always had this idea that I'm not an expert in any field, so I cannot really teach anybody. That's why it was more about that I'm not teaching, but I'm just showing and trying to explain what worked for me. So maybe it will work for you. I don't know if it will or not, but that's what worked for me. So I was showing my gym progress or some self-improvement, how I don't know, get better sleep, like better energy, everything, right? How I've learned languages, how I've learned programming, I don't know, anything. It was really, I've changed my channel completely to self-improvement sphere. And I was doing that for a couple of months, but then it was like, yeah, I don't see any growth, even though not only I didn't see any growth, but last month my channel was just declining, was less views. And as I said, my most popular video had like 25,000 views. It was a video about why my generation doesn't have kids. Yes, after that my views were very bad. I mean, I think on my recent videos I get like 20 or 30, and it was like, yeah, my channel was almost dead. I didn't know in which direction I should go now, because also in self-improvement I did a bunch of videos, I think like 10 or 20 videos, and I was like, okay, I feel like I said almost every advice that I wanted to say, and I don't really know, and I don't want to be this channel who doing like advices on everything. So I was like, yeah, it seemed like the channel is dead, and I was like, yeah, maybe I'm just not good at camera, maybe I'm just not good talker. But I would say that to have a decent skills of talking, I would say I was really bad at editing, because I hate it. And I mean, you can also notice this in these videos, there won't be any fancy editing, because I just don't like. I really don't like editing. I'm doing some basic stuff. I don't really like spending a lot of time creating these animations, transitions. So I'm doing some basic editing. right? Basically, that was the moment that my channel died, and I was like, okay, what can I do now? But to be honest, creating YouTube videos was pretty interesting because I like to talk. I was always the kind of person who just like to talk. I love have conversations. I really like to talking with my friends. I really like to talking. I really like to talk. So I was like, okay, I don't want to give up YouTube completely because it's basically the platform where I can talk a lot. And I was like, okay, maybe I should create a new channel. And then when I created my new channel, and then I was thinking a lot, I was planning a lot about what should be my new strategy, what should it be, what the channel should be about. And I've come up, and also at that time I had some kind of crisis in sense of I had the feeling that I don't really have any hobbies, any interest in my life, because yeah, I was going to the gym, but it was more like a habit to me at the time, so it wasn't like giving me any satisfaction. I was like, yeah, I'm going to the gym, but it's just a hobby that I'm doing. It's like brushing your teeth. So I was like, yeah, whatever. And my programming and my work and my programming skills are also kind of stagnating, and I was like, yeah, I don't feel any satisfaction with this either. So I was like, what the fuck should I do? And I was like, okay, why can't I create a channel about that, about a guy who trying to find hobby, who trying to find any interest. So I've created a new channel about that. So the idea was pretty simple. It will be a channel about a guy who trying to find hobby, and I've created a list of 12 potential hobbies that I wanted to try, and I've decided that I will try each hobby for a 1 month straight, and I will be creating videos like every week, sharing my progress, sharing my thoughts, sharing my feelings about this hobby and how the week goes, right? So that was basically the idea of the channel. And the first hobbies that I've tried was playing a guitar. I've bought guitar and I did a first month about that. And after that month, I realized that I don't really like guitar because, I don't know, it was kind of exhausted. I felt a lot frustrated. I don't felt any pleasure any satisfaction with playing that, so I was like, fuck the guitar. But also my new channel was performing very bad, right? I got like 4 views on video, 3 views on video, and probably 2 of them were me, so like nobody was watching that. I mean, the same problem I have with this channel right now, but it's a different story. But yeah, I was like, yeah, I mean, it doesn't work, and I've just give up after 1 month, just 1 month. But you know what's the funny thing? I've give up like after 1 month, but I was fucking planning this channel for almost 2 months. So almost 2 months I spent to creating this idea, to creating this list of 12 hobbies, because I wanted to do it for a 1 month, 1 year, right? So I've created like the list of 12 hobbies, how I should do it. And I was planning, I was overthinking, I was thinking so fucking much about all that. So I've spent almost 2 months just to create this whole idea, create this 1 year plan, and it lasted like 1 month. Only 1 month I was filming that, and then I gave up. And it was so funny, it was really so funny. So I was playing it so long just to give up after 1 month. Fucking hilarious, like what the fuck. I also forgot to mention that one of the reasons why I give up on that project was because of reading one book, So Good They Can't Ignore You. And basically that book was about that you cannot really find your passion. It was like you have to create it. It was like, yes, you cannot find something that will spark a fire into you. You have to create it, because when you will be doing it for a long period of time, then you will have the passion. Then you will be good at something. So if you really want to love something, you have to be good at it. That basically kind of changed my perspective of the life, because I was thinking that I just have to find it. I was thinking like, yes, with this channel, with this YouTube channel, with these experiments, I will find this. I will find something that will have this fire in me, that will spark a fire. But after reading that book, I was like, it seems like you cannot find a fire. You have to create it. And I was like, oh, that's what I should do. I should focus on one thing. So that was also the reason why I gave up. After reading that book, I kind of rethought my life, rethought my priorities, and I was like, okay, it seems like it's time to go back to the roots, so to say, go back to the programming, go back to software engineering, because it's the thing that I'm doing for a couple of years. and that's the thing that I'm not so bad at, at least. So I should be the better developer, the better software engineer, and with that maybe I will be able to create some startup or business, right? So I started reading more about startups, about business, so how to create your own product, your own company. And exactly in that time, I met one girl, right? And that girl, she was basically an Instagram influencer, and she had an audience, like she had almost like a 100,000 audience. It was like 90K and something, I think. And she was like a fitness influencer, and she had an idea that she wanted to create some kind of product for the audience, right? And because she was a girl, her content was more like a fitness for girls, like fitness for women, like how to train with your cycles and all the stuff that I'm terrible at because I'm not a woman. And yeah, so basically we met, we talked about that, and we both were kind of inspired with this idea to create a startup. And the idea was pretty simple, that I will be kind of technical guy and she will be more like idea, inspiration, marketing, distribution and so on. So I will be handling all the creating and engineering stuff, and she will be creating and she will be taking care of about all the distribution and marketing. Okay. And I thought it's very, very good opportunity because she had a channel to distribute. She had this almost 100,000 Instagram account. The users of this Instagram were the persons that we wanted to get attention from, right? Because they were, the majority of her audience were indeed a girls who was doing some sports. So we were creating the app exactly for them. It was a very good, and in like 1 month I created a very good MVP, I would say. But then we had some problems, and the problem was the communication with her, I would say, because it was funny that we met in Germany, but then in like 2 weeks she moved out to USA. So just she moved out to USA and she was living like there for a couple of months, she said. And at the time, so we had a crazy time difference. And so like when for me it was day, for her she was night, so it was like very hard to communicate, but still we were managed to communicate somehow. But I would say the main problem was that she had inconsistent opinion on that, because when we started we wanted to create a web app, right? So in your browser you will be able to open that, but after weeks she was more like, yeah, maybe it's better to create a mobile app. But the thing is that, I don't know, mobile app, it's like something completely different. And for her it was like, yeah, I mean, you can open it in browser, but in App Store it's something like similar, right? It's the same thing. And I was like, no, it's not, like completely different. So I should do like everything from scratch, although we already had like a very good working MVP in our browser. So it was already kind of usable, already the first users might use it. But she was like, yeah, let's do it as a mobile app. And almost like every week she had like different ideas, and I was just exhausting mentally because I was trying to, because I wasn't good at the tema, because I have no fucking idea how like a woman training is different from men training, because I'm a man, I know about how men trains, right? Because I'm the man. So I had like no fucking idea, and I was like, okay, I gave kind of her the full authority of making the decision about how the product should be. But because of that, she was always with some new ideas, and I was like fucking tired of that. And basically I've just said her, look, it seems like I've told her, okay, we started as a partners, but I feel like we can't do this anymore as partners. If you want me to continue working on the app, then we won't be partners anymore. I will be just your employee. I mean, you should pay me then, and I will create anything you want to, but I don't want to be a partner anymore, right? So the app will be like 100% yours, everything will be yours, but I need money to work on, right? Because both of us were like co-founders, we were working for free. I mean, she was doing it for free, I was doing it for free, but I just understand I don't want to be a co-founder with her. I just cannot be a co-founder with a person who every like 2 days give me some completely new idea about the app. And I was like, no, it cannot be like this. I can do the app faster, I will do everything you want to, but then you have to pay me for that. And after that, she just never answered again. So she just disappeared after that. So I was like, okay, whatever. Yeah, so that was the next project that also failed. And my next project was a startup that I've created my own from the scratch and goes a full circle to creating a startup. It was Hire Ready, and I already have a video about that on this channel about my new startup when I launched it and so on. It was very interesting experience to create a startup like completely and to launch it, but I just will quickly say about that because I don't want to talk about it a lot. Basically, it failed because I didn't validate the market first. I've created the app because I thought, oh, it's so interesting, and I've asked all the friends, is it an interesting idea? Everybody was, yeah, it's interesting, do it. And then I've created it and nobody was giving a fuck because nobody needed that, because I've just created what I wanted to. I didn't listen to my customers. So the project just died, okay? It just died because I've created a startup that nobody was needed. Yeah, so I spent another, I think, 2 or 3 months on that startup, Hire Ready, that failed. And after that, I was a bit lost. I was like, yeah, what should I do? It seems like, but I've learned a lot of valuable lessons after failing this startup, that you have to validate your idea first, and the distribution and marketing of the project is a lot more important than just creating an app. I've also created my last video about that, why marketing and distribution is harder than building the app and more important. And after that, I was like, yeah, I was a couple of months, I was just trying to learn more about validating ideas and how I should do it. I was going to some meetups where I was talking to also to other founders of startups. I was trying to understand how they came up with their ideas and how they are doing this distribution or marketing, what are their strategies, what are they doing. That's also when I first time heard about this, the mom test book, how you should talk to the customers. And I've learned a lot of interesting stuff, but the problem was that what I've noticed on almost all of these meetups, all these conferences, the 95% of the people are beginners and they never even created one startup. I remember very good at one presentation, just guy asked, okay, how many people already created an audience? Can you raise your hand? And I raised my hand because, yeah, I've created this Hire Ready. And I've seen that in audience, besides me, it was like, I think 2 more people who created, and everybody else has never even created one. And so I'm besides people who not even creating anything, they're just dreaming. And I've just thought like, it seems like all this startup sphere is like just people selling you dream, right? You have this dream to creating startup, to be like Bill Gates, to be like, I don't know, Tim Cook. You're just dreaming about, you think how good it is, but you're not creating anything. And almost all the people are beginners, so I can't really learn a lot from them because they're beginners. What can they learn me? I mean, almost everybody I was talking to, yeah, I'm just starting, I'm just have the idea, I didn't even start, or yeah, I'm starting, but I'm now only building. So for me, the interesting part was, okay, how to do validation of idea, how to talk to customers, how to do a proper market research, how to do validation, how to fucking distribute after the app already exists, how to get those first customers. And nobody from those people had an answer to that because they all also were beginners like me, or even more beginners than I am. So I was kind of disappointed in all this startup audience, all these startups groups here in Germany, and I was like, yeah, it's kind of bullshit. At that time, I've started to watching Rob Williams a lot and his 3 steps method. And basically the first method was to create like some money and to start with a platform where it's easier to not to do, but more like try to create something more simpler. For example, on Google extension, on Shopify. And I was like thinking, okay, maybe that's what I should try. And I was like, okay, let me try to create a Google Chrome extension. So yeah, I decided to create a Google Chrome extension, but the problem with validation, distribution, marketing didn't disappear. It was still there, but I was thinking, yeah, because there is kind of a store when you can get this extension, it should be not so hard with distribution, blah blah blah. So I was thinking that because there is like this Google App Store, it will be easier to get customers and I don't have to do so much of marketing research. I was hoping that I can escape all this marketing stuff. I was hoping. And how I get this idea of web, it was something that I wanted to read books with AI. I mean, to have an AI that just have the context of the book, what I'm currently reading, and to kind of helping me to understand, to reflect, or to discuss about that. And I didn't found any extension that already existed on Google Chrome App Store, so I thought that might be a good idea to create it on my own. And basically the whole validation was that I wanted it, so that was my validation. Yeah, it's a terrible way to validate, but I was like, yeah, if I need it, then maybe there's people like me who also need it. So I just created it in like a month or something. Nobody have ever installed that. So I've created an app that nobody needed again. I didn't do validation, I didn't do market research, I didn't do distribution, I didn't talk to people about that, and it died again. And after that, the next idea that I was doing was Shopify, right? I started doing Shopify. I wanted to do some kind of research before starting, and I didn't talk to people. I didn't really validate the idea. I've just run a couple of AI deep research to scrap the Reddit, the Shopify App Store to find what can be particular good ideas to create an app about. And I've just then built apps about those ideas, and I've created 2 apps, and third was almost done. So I've created almost 3 apps, and then a couple of weeks I got 0 followers again, 0 users, right? 0 users after a couple of months of creating all this almost 3 apps. And then I had like a couple of reflection, and this video is also part of this reflection, because I was like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? I mean, like, I was like, and I came to the realization that all my startups basically failed because of the same problem. I mean, same problem is because I don't have skills to validate idea and to distribute into marketing. And I was afraid of it. I was afraid of people, of talking to people. I was afraid of people to saying that my idea is trash. I was afraid to present my idea because when your idea is just an idea, then it's feeling safe. It feels safe because nobody can judge your idea. Nobody can say that your idea is trash. And you also don't see that the users just don't use it. And you might think, yeah, it's a very good idea. It will be so good to build it. But when you really build it, you're like, oh, nobody needs it. Oh. And also because when you're starting something new, any project, right? You start this. The first like 1 month, 2 months are very easy because it's something new. It gives you a lot of excitement. You are really excited. You are excited. You are excited. You're like, yeah, how good it is to work on that. But with the time, you're just coming to this deep. How in Seth Godin's book, it was just the deep. Where you like, yeah, the initial excitement is gone and then no result. You kind of like, yeah, it seems like it doesn't work. So I was just jumping to one project, to another project, to one project, to another project, and was failing for the same fucking reason. No customers, no validation, no market research, no distribution, the same thing. And I was giving up too quickly because 2 months, it's not enough time. I wasn't doing the stuff that I was afraid of, like I just said, all this marketing stuff. Yeah, so I came up to this conclusion and I was very like disappointed in myself because last 2.5 years I was thinking that I was trying to build something, but instead I was just avoiding the problems that I was afraid of solving, like marketing and being able to do something for a long period of time. So almost every project I gave up after 2 months. Almost every project. There's only one project I stick to longer, was my first YouTube channel that I did like 10 months. And it was also the only project where I had at least some kind of results, right? I have like almost 400 followers. I have people who were my like small audience, who were writing me and so on. The only project where I stick to a bit longer, I had some results. And I was like, okay, I have to fucking stick to anything for longer. That's why I decided that I will stick to the Shopify, my current project, for way fucking longer, because I just cannot give up again, because I've given up so many times that I don't know, I feel like if I will give up one more time after 2 fucking months, I just will lose all my respect in myself, right? It's also why I started again doing videos, because I've created like 3 or 4 YouTube videos, and I understand I really enjoy talking. I doubt that even one person to be actually will listen to it until this moment. So probably nobody will listen to it, but at least I will document my path. Basically, my whole channel will be about documenting my path, because I've promised to myself that at least 1 year from 1st July 2026 to 1st July 2027, so exactly 1 year, I will be focusing on the Shopify completely, and also will be documenting everything on that YouTube channel, because I cannot give up. I cannot give up anymore. I just can't. I can't switch project again. I did it too quickly, too often. If I do it one more time, I will just lose respect at myself. That's why I'm trying to do it, and that's why I finally started to doing the hard thing. Now I am doing more marketing, more validation, so on. And probably in next video I will tell you how first time I wrote like 100 people with cold outreach and what I guessed. Yeah, okay. Was Georgie here. Was nice to meet you. Bye, guys.